In this lesson, I will explain the function and description of each of the organelles found within both plant and animal cells. Cells are the building blocks of all living organisms. They come together to make us human, and in the bottom image, you're able to see how they make a stalk of corn grow as they multiply. Plant and animal cells are a little different in their structures, and this is part of what causes the plant and animal kingdoms to have the differences that they do. They have many similar parts, also called organelles, and plant cells have a few that are unique to them. The functions of the organelles found in both animal and plant cells are similar, so we will cover animal cells first and then explain the additional organelles that plant cells have. Both plant and animal cells are eukaryotic, which means that their organelles are protected by a cell membrane that keeps everything held inside and that they have a nucleus. The cell membrane provides support for the cell, allows certain materials to travel into and out of the cell, and acts as a barrier between the inside of the cell and the outside environment. The cell membrane looks complicated, but think of it like the outside of a ball that protects the inside materials as it bounces along and maintains its shape. The nucleus is the brain of the cell. Just like our brain allows us to function, the nucleus, the purple mass inside the nucleus, directs all cell activities. This means that it tells the organelles what they have to do and when. The nucleus also holds all the DNA of the cell in chromosomes. The genetic material, or chromosomes of the cell, determine that cell's overall function. These organelles are integral to cellular functions, so the nucleus and genetic material are protected by the nuclear membrane that is selectively permeable. This means it lets certain materials in and out of the nucleus through small pores like the cell membrane. There is a clear, thick, jelly-like substance inside the cell called cytoplasm. This fills up the space in between organelles. The cytoplasm provides support and protection to the cell organelles. Just like we need roads to drive places, cells need a transportation system to move materials through the cell. The Endoplasmic Reticulum, or ER, is a network of tubes that carry materials throughout the cell. Sometimes there are ribosomes attached to the ER, but they can also be found on their own in the cytoplasm. These are small but powerful and produce proteins for the cell to use. The ER is considered smooth when it doesn't have ribosomes attached, and is called the rough ER when there are ribosomes attached. The mitochondria is the energy-producing center of the cell. Just like solar panels create energy from sunlight, the mitochondria produces energy from breaking down the food we fuel our bodies with. It is bean-shaped and has folded inner membranes called cristae. These add to the surface area and allow more energy-creating reactions to take place. The Golgi Apparatus is the packaging organelle of the cell. Its function is to modify, sort, and then package together materials that will go to another organelle within the cell or can be secreted outside of the cell. Lysosomes are digestive sacs. They are filled with enzymes and they enable the cell to make use of nutrients through breaking larger molecules down. Lysosomes also digest old cell parts and will digest the cell after it dies. We have covered all the organelles found inside animal cells and will move on to the few that only plant cells have. Plant cells have a thick cell wall that surrounds their cell membrane for increased structural support and protection of the cell. Plant cells can get much bigger than animal cells because of this added support. Plant cells contain vacuoles that are large storage sacs and can store food, fluid, or waste. It is necessary for plants to store food and water for use throughout the winter when they do not receive many nutrients. Plants don't ingest food like we do, so their mitochondria is more of a backup energy production center. Plants have chloroplasts that allow them to receive energy from the sun and create energy through photosynthesis. Chloroplasts are what make plants green, and they look like green ovals filled with stacks of pennies, called the granum. Those are all the organelles found within plant and animal cells. Each have a special purpose within the cell, and together they allow the cell to function properly and with a great amount of efficiency. I hope you enjoyed this microscopic exploration inside animal and plant cells. If you liked this video lesson, let us know. We're all over social media. Find us at 30 Hands Learning.